looking at long-term solutions to foreclosures. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is United States Congressman John Carney. Thanks for being with us.
Good to be with you.
Let's talk a little bit about where we stand when it comes to foreclosures. Many families are facing very difficult situations. Many families in Delaware have already gone through foreclosures. Talk to us about where we are right now.
Well, at the larger level, foreclosure filings are up about 3 times what the normal rate is. So thousands of families across Delaware are being affected by this problem. Now, everybody has a little bit different financial situation. Most people are facing foreclosure because they've lost a job, or there's been an illness in the family, an illness with one of the breadwinners in the family. And so some programs can help them and some programs won't help them. So what I've been trying to do is work with people at the state level, at the State Banking Commission and Attorney General's office, to address folks that we can help. And to make sure that Congress makes available tools. There were tools that were put in place through the TARP program to address foreclosures and home ownership. So that's a way to stabilize the housing market so that we can start to bring it back to life again.
So that's what's happening currently. That's what's happened in the past year or so. But let's talk a little bit about some
couple years, I think.
Couple years at this point. Let's talk about some of the things that are happening at the federal level, some of the things that you've been working on. You're actually on the Financial Service Committee. What are some of the longer term solutions when we look to the future to avoid some of these problems down the line?
Right, so looking to the future, we've got to straighten our mortgage markets, get the mortgage market straightened out. We have to have a fix for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. What's the future of those two entities going to be? And that's something that we're working on. But an idea that our bipartisan group has come up with is called the Housing Opportunities Act, where we provide an incentive for people to save for down payment and settlement costs. So instead of incentivizing people to take on more debt, right, through some kind of subprime mortgage structure, here's an incentive for people to put money aside, to save for that down payment, and to focus on developing equity as opposed to debt. We think it's a better approach.
So how would this actually work? How would you encourage people to save up front?
Right, so it's like a tax savings account that you have for tax-free savings account like you have for retirement. So people would put money away before taxes. It would accumulate over time. And then when they get to the point where they have enough to put down for a down payment, they'll have that money available, and they've had the incentive from the tax-free savings part of it. So if they don't use it, they could roll it over into some kind of retirement IRA. So we think it's a really good idea to incentivize savings, and another tool to help bring the housing market back. I mean, the fact of the matter is that our housing market right now is, if the rest of the economy is coming out of a recession, the housing market is still in a pretty deep depression. And if we're going to get the overall economy moving again, we've got to work to address the housing concerns.
So you say this is a tool, and this is a longer-term approach to looking at the overall housing market. But is this just one part of what needs to be done in order to address housing? Absolutely.
I mean, we've got to work on the foreclosure problem. We've got to work on people that are upside down in their homes. And some of that's just has to play its way out. We need to encourage the banks to move those properties through and to take those write-downs when it's appropriate, help people that are facing foreclosure, and then create incentives like this one would do for people to save for down payment settlement. We also have to work on the mortgage market, as I said at the outset, in Fannie and Freddie.
But in the interim, though, for these programs that are in place right now for families who may be facing foreclosure right now, will these programs continue?
Well, there's a big fight on Capitol Hill between Republicans and Democrats about whether they will. In the House, we voted to eliminate them. We're trying to fight to keep them so those tools exist.
Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Jill.
We've been talking with United States Congressman John Carney. I'm Jill Horner.